Hey guys, it's Grace, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I'd like to call The Reality of College, which is basically just my college experience so far. I'm 3 weeks away from the end of my first semester of college, so I figured I have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things that I want to tell you guys, and you kind of get the insider scoop if you are a senior or junior or in high school about what college is like. So today is a very freezing rain day. I was supposed to have classes, but they got canceled, which is amazing, and my roommate is gone, so I have the opportunity to film a video today. Woohoo! Sorry I didn't post last week, but I did not bring my camera home over vacation, which was kind of stupid of me. But I forgot that, so I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving vacation, and I have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to stop rambling and get into what I'm going to be talking about. So I have a little notepad right here with all of the different things that I want to talk about, and I kind of like separated it into sections. So my first section is school. So I have had an interesting experience with school. It's a lot more fun for me because I'm doing what I want to do. But the work is harder. There's a lot faster deadlines and they're not babysitting you. So if you have a deadline to meet, like, you have to meet it, and usually it's in the syllabus, and sometimes teachers won't even tell you or remind you that something is coming up. You just have to look in the syllabus and know, and if you haven't done the assignment, then you're gonna get a 0 on it. There's a lot more time to do homework, but do you really have more time is like the kind of concept that I've experienced, because yes, you're only in classes for like 3 hours a day, I think is what most of mine are. I have like homework outside of those classes, but I do have more time to do my homework, but I have other stuff that I'm doing as well, and it's a lot more homework, so I don't really know if it's more homework than I got in high school. It's definitely more homework than I got my senior year, because my senior year was really easy. The classes are also a lot longer, but for me they're not really. So we have 50-minute classes, or we have an hour and 15-minute classes, and there's not really, at least in my experience for most of my classes, there's not really any longer than that. Some of my friends have classes that are like 2.5 hours, but they're only meeting once a week, which makes complete sense. So on average I have like 2.5 hours to like 3-ish hours a week classes, but that's total spread out over 2 to 3 days. So the classes are kind of longer, but they're not, because in high school I had 50-minute classes every single day, 7 of them, depending on whether or not I had a study hall. So it's like kind of similar. There's less classes, but I don't really know. It's different, but it's kind of the same. One thing that kind of sucks is the fact that you don't get to see your friends all the time. So at high school, I would be able to see my friends in a lot of my classes, and if I didn't see them in my classes, I could see them at lunch, or I could see them in passing time, or if I had a study hall and that kind of stuff. Whereas here, you see people that you have in your classes, and then you don't see your friends or really make friends unless you schedule like a time to meet with them, or you study with them, or you hang out with them or something like that. So you're not in the same confined space for 6 hours a day, which can definitely like make it harder to make friends and develop relationships here, unless you have an actual social life, which I'll get into next. Social life wise, at least at my college, there is a lot of drinking. This college used to be known as a really big party school. It's still a decent sized party school, but there's less of like a reputation of a lot of drinking. And I found I'm not really someone that likes to go out that way. I'd like to hang out with my friends in like a closed personal setting, but I'm not really one that enjoys going to parties. It kind of gives me a little bit of anxiety. I don't have like full-blown social anxiety or anything like that, but I really don't enjoy going out to parties. Like it stresses me out, and I have to take a lot of time for myself afterwards. I'm kind of like in the middle of introverted and extroverted, so like if I go out and hang out with friends, I need to like recharge and take some time for myself after. But it's honestly really hard to make friends if you don't go out and party. I've made a lot of friends because I'm in the music, theater, and dance department, that's a really, really close department. I've made a ton of friends through my classes and through the shows that I've helped out on. But if I didn't have that, I don't know how well I would have made friends. My roommate is in the business department, and we both have made a couple friends on our floor, but other than that, she has some friends through her classes, but I don't think she's really made, you know, a lot of friends. She goes out sometimes, so she's like made friends through that, but if she didn't go out, I don't think she would have made very many friends. So it's just kind of like the atmosphere. It's just hard to make friends if you don't go out and drink, which sucks for someone like me. And I just don't know how to like deal with that yet. I haven't really figured that out, because I want to go out and make friends, but I don't want to do it in that sort of a setting. It's good to note that the friends you make at the beginning will probably not stick. I have some friends that I made at orientation, really great people. I have a couple of them in my classes. I still talk to them sometimes, but like we're not best friends anymore. And I think at orientation and during the first few like weeks, we were a little bit closer, just because like I didn't really have anyone else to hang out with at that point. So it's good to know that like the people that you meet in the beginning could definitely become your closest friends, but they probably won't be, and that's totally okay. Another thing that you should think about when meeting people, new people, is don't trust everyone at first. I'd say take this with a grain of salt, because like, yes, you should be trusting and believe the good in everyone, but you don't want to tell someone your like deepest, darkest secrets when you first meet them. You should wait a little bit and see if you guys are actually going to be friends, and how their character and personality is, and how that works with yours, and if there's someone you really think you could get along with really well and you could trust them. So I definitely think that, especially in the beginning when people are trying to like make friends really quickly and just being nice to everyone, like you don't really know someone's actual personality until you spent quite a good amount of time with them. So I'd wait a little bit before revealing anything big to someone you've just met at college. Also, another aspect that goes along with the drinking is do not feel pressured into everything or anything. If you don't want to drink, don't do it. If you want to drink, like go for it, but be safe about it. Make sure, you know, you have someone that's with you, especially if you're a girl, because you never want to take like an open drink or anything like that, especially at a college party. Like, I'm pretty sure one of my friends got like roofied one of the first parties, and he was a guy, but like still, it happens a lot and you really need to be careful. You always want to have a buddy with you. My roommate was really good about this and very accepting about how I felt about parties. She likes to go out, and that's totally fine with me. Don't care at all, but she really made sure that I knew that she was fine with like me not drinking, and she always asked like, if you want to come out with me, that's totally fine, you can drink, you don't have to drink, like I'm not going to judge you for anything, you make your decisions and you could do that and I'll make mine, which was awesome. She's awesome about that. And that just made me feel a lot better. Like, I didn't go out, but if I had wanted to, or if I do want to, I know that she's gonna be completely fine with whether I drink or not. So another aspect of this whole thing is homesickness. So I'm not really the type of person that feels homesick for anything, or like, I don't know, like I miss my parents and I miss my friends, but I'm not gonna be completely incapable of doing anything because of it. I've always kind of been that way. So I do miss my dog though. I miss my dog a lot. But that's kind of like more of like cuddling with my dog and like having an animal that I can just like sit with and chill with and be distracted by if I wanted to be. So I do miss my parents and I do miss my friends, but it's not like I'm gonna curl up in my bed and not do work because of it. But I know some people have a really hard time with that, so I just suggest get Skype your friends to keep the relationship alive. Skype if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, Skype them a lot. Skype your parents and they can like hold up your animals if you have them, which is what my parents have been doing. But there's different ways for you to deal with that, and you know, it'll depend on who you are and how you react. I do, however, kind of miss my own bed. I like this bed because I've gotten used to it and it's like decently comfortable, but I miss like the size of my bed because I had a full bed and this is a twin. It's an extra long, but it's a twin, and it's just like so small. But now I've gone home a couple of times since coming here, since I've been here for an entire semester, and it's like weird. I can spread out my bed now, so it makes me appreciate my own bed a lot more. Roommate wise, your roommate can either be great or your roommate can be terrible. And thankfully, we haven't had very many issues at all. I know a lot of people here, my friends, that have had really, really bad arguments and issues with their roommates and are debating moving out after this semester. So I think it's just really important to just lay out all the rules in the beginning. And you know, if something doesn't work out, walk away for a little bit, calm down, and always come back and talk about it afterwards. Because if you're having an issue with something and they don't know, how are they going to be able to fix it if they haven't, you know? And I'm really about this too, because I don't like confrontation and I want everything to be like fine and dandy and perfect, but it's not going to be like that all the time. And you just need to like pull up your bootstraps and go for it and confront whatever the issue is, and it will most likely be resolved with you just talking. And if you need to, you can like bring your CA into it or anything like that. If you're actually having a very serious issue, don't feel like bringing your CA into it is like tattling or anything like that. If you're having a problem and you feel your safety is at risk, then you need to bring someone else into it if your roommate is not cooperating or understanding what you're trying to say. I'm going to talk about the food, and I have one word for it: awful. It's so bad. It's really bad here. Now, personally, that's for me because I'm a vegetarian and I've been debating going vegan for a really long time. So for me, it's really difficult because they don't have a lot of like vegetarian options. It's usually like rice and nachos and like a vegetable that's slightly warm that's really slimy and gross. And the rice is cooked too much and is just hard. So it's not, for someone who's a meat eater, it might be a little bit better, but a lot of the time I just eat like pasta and a salad, and if there's a good vegetable that I can find, I get that. Or it's just rice or fries, honestly. Like sometimes soups are decent here, but the food is really not the greatest for me, and I really want to try at least going vegan. I couldn't do it. I honestly couldn't do it eating from the dining hall. So that's why next year I'm hoping to get into one of the student apartments with a couple of my friends from MTD, Music Theater and Dance Department, and we're hoping to get an apartment so we'll have a kitchen and we'll have like our own bathroom and that kind of stuff. So that will hopefully be a lot better and I'll be able to cook my own food. Also with the bathrooms, because I'm in a residence hall and the whole floor shares a bathroom, it's interesting. You definitely need shower shoes, you need a shower caddy, and sometimes the bathrooms aren't clean. They clean them every single day during the week, but then on the weekend they don't clean them until Monday. So they clean them on Friday and then they don't clean them until Monday. And a lot of the times that's when people are like going out and partying, or like sometimes people leave for the weekend, but not a lot. So they get extremely disgusting and dirty, especially when people don't like flush the toilet and that kind of stuff, or like they throw up in the bathroom and they don't, or in the sink or in the toilet and they don't flush it. It's gross and it starts to smell. And also the so annoying part is that people like take their hair in the shower and just stick it on the wall. Like, I don't care if there's hair in the actual drain. Like, that's totally fine because I'm wearing shower shoes, so that doesn't really bother me. But when you leave your hair on the side, it's like I don't want to touch anything, and I just go into the shower like this, and I can't touch the walls. So yeah, it's just gross when people do that. I just wish they would just take your hair and just stick it in the drain if you're going to, but like don't stick it on the wall. That's like the one thing that I don't like either. That's another reason why I want to get an apartment next year. So the last section that I kind of have is relationships and friendships. So I have a boyfriend and he goes to another college in our state, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes away. So he's got a car this semester, which is really awesome. So he's been able to come up and see me. But I'm not exactly sure yet if I'm going to be having a car next semester. So we might not be able to do that again because he won't have his car next semester. So it's difficult even having him come up a lot. Like, you know, I want to be around him all the time and I like want to see him, but I don't really get to that often, especially when I have other stuff going on or like shows or a lot of homework. Like, he won't be able to come up. So it's just kind of figuring out that how to deal with that. And you know, some people will be able to go through it. Like, if you're okay and you put in the effort to go through it, and your partner will put in the effort and are just as dedicated to the relationship as you are, then it'll work out and it'll be fine. But some people don't do that. I think that's where like relationships kind of crumble, is when both parties aren't as dedicated to keeping it alive. And that goes with friendships as well. Like, I've had a little bit of a struggle with friendships. Obviously they're not going to be as close because you're not seeing them every single day for 6 hours for an entire week, but I've struggled with that a little bit. But I think most of my friendships are pretty much good. Like, we don't talk a lot, but when we do, we always update on each other on everything, and we're like just as close as we have been. And I went back home on vacation, obviously, for Thanksgiving, and I talked with one of my friends, and we were only together for a few hours, but it went back to exactly what it always was, where we were just like talking about stuff and like totally fine and laughing about it and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's not that big of a deal, again, if you're both willing to put in the effort to make the relationship stay alive. Alright, so that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you a little insight on what being in college is actually like. It's not as glorious as everyone makes it seem. It's not necessarily easy, and if anyone is actually, you know, dealing with these problems in college or something like that, or you are in the future, please, if you need to, go talk to like the counseling system at college, because they have great, or at least my college has like great systems in place for you to talk to. You can talk to your advisor if you have one. I have an advisor from my department, and they've continuously emphasized if you're having an issue, whether it's in your life or it's related to the department, if you need to talk to them, like, schedule an appointment. They're open anytime. They will listen, they will help you out, that kind of stuff. So please, if you're really having issues adjusting to change or just dealing with anything that's going on in your life in college, now or in the future, please talk to someone about it. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a giant thumbs up if you did, and subscribe down below for more. I will be having a video that is about like things that you need to bring to college and things that you don't need to bring to college. That'll be coming up soon, probably at the end of this semester after I've taken everything home and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you subscribe so you can see that. My previous video is on that side of the screen, and my previous vlog is on that side of the screen. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.